this is Roger with iGadget Geek. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new phone from AT&T. This is the Samsung Galaxy S5 Active. Currently it is available in 3 different colors. You have, like the one I have here, the camo green. It is also available in kind of a silver color and a kind of ruby red. Now this is of course available with a 2-year contract for $199 down. Or you can take advantage of AT&T's interest-free financing, or the Next plan. A Next 12 installment plan will run you $33 for 20 months. Or the Next 18 will run you $27.50 for 24 months. Now if you would like to, you can of course buy this outright, and it does retail for $659 is the retail price. So what I want to do now is just kind of dive right into the box and show you guys what all it comes with. Of course, you do get some pamphlet information, quick start guides, warranty information. You get a set of Samsung's headphones with the controls, so you can play and pause, track forward, volume up and down. You have your USB charging cable and your wall wart right there. Now this is a little different than the regular S5. It does not have the USB 3 charger. It has just a standard micro USB. So let's go ahead and get all that out of the way, and we'll dive right on. You can see here it is definitely a much thicker, beefier phone. Now I have the gold version of the S5 here just to kind of show you guys a comparison, so you can kind of get an idea of the thickness, how it's a little bit thicker, it's a little bit taller, and it's just a little bit wider. So all in all, you definitely do get a bit more of a beefy feel to the Galaxy S5 Active. It has a lot more metal and aluminum on the device itself, so it definitely feels a little more rugged. So let's set that S5 out of the way, and we'll dive right in and walk around here on the Active. Now here at the very bottom you have your rear speaker, you have your flash, heart rate monitor, and 16 megapixel rear camera. Now on the very front you have 3 physical buttons for your recent, home, and back. Now at the very top you have all your LED, your proximity sensor, your forward-facing camera, your main speaker. Now on the left-hand side you have your volume up and down, and then this active key. And then on the right-hand side you have just your sleep-wake power button. So as you can see with that green, you get this really cool kind of pattern here in the aluminum bezel. It looks really nice. Makes it real easy to grip. Has a very nice, bright, vibrant screen. So definitely is an easy screen to see outside. And it also changes, just like the S5, when you're out in the sunlight, it goes into that high contrast mode to actually help you to be able to read that in direct sunlight. Now before I dive on into the software, what I want to do is go ahead and pull this back battery cover off and show you guys the back here. Now this is what makes it waterproof. You have this actual seal just like on the S5. On the S5 Active you have that same kind of seal. We're presented here with a very similar battery. It is a 2800 milliamp hour battery. So basically much like the S5. So I have the S5 here on the left and the S5 Active on the right. As you can see, looking at these from the back, they're very similar. You do get a little more beefy bezel around the camera, but other than that, they're very similar. The batteries are virtually the same, but on the S5 Active you lose all of these connecting ports. So as you can see on the S5, you have these are for your QI charger, for your flap cover that puts it into that mode and everything. But on the S5 Active, those are actually missing. So I don't think we will ever see any type of QI wireless charging or anything with the Active. Personally, the Active is kind of a case designed to be ruggedized without a case. I would really have loved to seen an option where we could have replaced this back with a wireless charging back. That would have been really nice. But when you place this on, basically you want to make sure you've sealed it, because if you haven't set it in here correctly and really made sure you've got all of the snaps engaged on this back cover, you would lose the fact of it being waterproof. Now this is of course exceeds military specs, something or another, and it is waterproof up to 3 meters for 30 minutes. Now on the very bottom here we have our port cover. So we'll go ahead and pop that off. There's your sync and charge port. You have your main microphone, and on the very top you have your infrared blaster, your secondary microphone, and your headphone jack. One interesting thing about this headphone jack, there's not a port cover, so it is waterproof. You don't have to worry about making sure you have a flap over this headphone jack that's covered. It's just waterproof right out of the box, so that's a pretty cool feature. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and reposition my camera, and we're going to dive right into the software. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive right into the software itself. Now, if you have a Galaxy S5 or you've seen a review on the Galaxy S5, you're going to be very familiar with this software. It is virtually identical to the Galaxy S5 in terms of software, with one added benefit. With this active key, you press it one time, and you actually are going to go right in here to its little active setting here where you have your compass, your barometer, and all those quick settings. You have a flashlight, stopwatch, you have active zone. And these are quick shortcuts to these main things, the barometer, the compass. Now, right here you have a shortcut to exercise, but you can also manage that app shortcut, and you can actually go in here and add any application you would like to have in that shortcut, and that's a quick one-button push. Now, you can also program that button to press and hold, open up your camera, and then become your shutter button. So it's pretty cool, it has that extra button there, so it gives us some, customization and control there. So let's go ahead and dive on in here to settings, and we'll go down here to about device. So as you can see, just like the S5, it is running 4.4.2. Pretty much if you've seen an S5, you've seen the S5 active in terms of software. It doesn't miss anything. Unlike last year, last year we had the S4 great phone, then we had the S4 active where they did reduced the phone. Here they did not do that. The S5 Active is by far a fantastic device. It uses the same processor. It's a 2.5 quad-core processor, just like the original S5. It uses the same 2800 milliamp hour battery. You have the same 16 megapixel camera. You have 2 gigs of RAM. You have the same 5.1 inch full 1080p display. So what I really like about the Active is they took the S5 and all of its great features and power and put it into a very rugged container. In fact, while we're talking about rugged, I'm going to go ahead and jump to another video. And in this video, I've taken my phone outside and I've created a nice muddy, dirty, wet puddle. And we'll chunk it in there and we'll kind of go through that. And I'll kind of show you that outdoor mode for the display where it goes into that kind of high contrast mode. So let's go ahead and go right into that video now. You can see we got a nice, nasty, muddy puddle here. Throwing my S5. Give it a little wipe. So you can see, still works, not a problem. Get that good rugged outdoor features. Now when the screen is wet, you're going to want to wipe it off because it is capacitive. It's not going to have all of its functions while it's wet. So you can see, nice thing about the S5 Active, get it dirty, throw it in a mud puddle, chunk it in, oh no, you're fine. That's what it's built to do. So that's pretty fantastic that you can take this phone, dunk it in the water, get it wet, take it to the river, take it to the lake, and you're not going to hurt it. You get that extra rugged protection with this phone, so it can definitely handle whatever life throws at it. Now, of course, with the software, you get all the same pre-installed applications that you get with the original S5. If you want to see that video, go into my previous videos, go through the regular S5, it'll show you all of the great software. This is the same software, so I'm not going to go into great detail about the operating system since it is virtually the same to the original Galaxy S5. And this has been Roger with iGadget Geek.